welcome to my channel. This is Elizabeth with Wandering Soul Enterprises, and today we are doing a Virgo season yoga practice. You don't have to be a Virgo sun sign to do this, although I'd like to wish a happy belated birthday to most of my Virgo sun signs. We're on the very end of Virgo season right now as I'm recording this. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. But we're focusing on the parts of the body that are associated with Virgo. So that would be the spleen, which is located right under the lower left side of the rib cage, the intestines, and the digestive system. So that kind of explains why Virgos are considered to be really fastidious and kind of obsessed with hygiene and over-analytical and stuff like that. But yeah, so also, I just wanted to mention Virgo is ruled by Mercury and associated with the Hermit card in Tarot, in case you're interested. So let's go ahead and get started. Standing tall into Tadasana, mountain pose. So you can have the toes touching with 1 inch between the heels, or you can have the feet about hip width apart, like the 2 fists put together. The toes are pointing straight forward. There's a slight bend in the knees, the thighs are lifting up out of the kneecaps. We'll lift the toes, spread them apart, lower them one by one onto the mat. Feel invisible roots growing down into the mat. We're lifting the hips up and engaging the core. Shoulders are up, back, down, and then the palms come facing forward, fingertips energized. The chin is parallel with the ground. Nice and tall into Tadasana. So on the inhale, you can visualize energy coming from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. And on the exhale, you can visualize this energy cascading back down through the body, through the soles of the feet, back into the earth. So inhaling, the energy comes up, and exhale, it comes back down. So that upward flow of energy on the inhale is called pranavayu, and then the downward energy is called apanavayu. So apanavayu is really important for the digestive system because we want everything to come out of the body downwards with the assistance of gravity. So as we're doing our practice today, you might want to kind of focus on that downward flow of energy. There's also something called samanavayu that we can practice here too. So on the inhale, you can have the hands on the tummy and feel the fingertips come apart. And on the exhale, feel the middle fingers come back together. So really inhaling, breathing energy into the abdomen, and exhaling, feeling it expand out through the body. Kind of building up some heat in the abdomen. So this is called samanavayu. It's this circular energy running through the core of the body, and that builds up your digestive fire to help you digest your food, okay? So we'll start here into Tadasana. Let's inhale. We'll bring the left arm up by the ear and exhale. Come into crescent. Feel that stretch inside of the body. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, we'll take it to the other side. Now feeling that part of the body squeezing over here where the spleen is. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhale, take it to the other side. And I didn't know this, but before I started researching for this video, but some people don't have a spleen. So be thankful if you have one, because it sounds like it's kind of hard to deal with things if you don't. All right, let's inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, bring it back down. Okay, so next we're going to be doing Warrior 2. So let's bring the feet out about 4 feet apart, 3 to 4 feet apart, just a nice wide stance for your body type. We're gonna have the right toes pointing towards the short edge of your mat, and then the left toes are at an angle. And you can have a line from the right heel to the arch of the left foot. You want to make sure the outside edge of the left foot is staying in contact with the mat. We're going to bend the right knee, trying to kind of go for like a 90-degree angle in the knee. It doesn't have to be exact, just getting a nice good bend in that knee. And then I like to bend and straighten the back knee to get the form right, kind of pull the left hip back. We'll bring the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, draw the arm bones into the sockets. Feel the fingertips magnetically stretching away from each other. And then we'll turn the gaze over the right hand for warrior two. Inhale, and the exhale, we'll bring the hands to heart center, pressing the hands into each other like you're pushing yourself away from yourself. And on the exhale, we're gonna twist towards the right, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And if you can, maybe turning the gaze over that right shoulder. And if you need to, you can bring the left heel up here. You can also modify by having the left knee down on the mat. But feel how the body's twisting, kind of like you're wringing out a towel. We'll inhale, coming back up, and then we'll switch the feet and do the same thing on the other side. So left toes swivel towards the short edge of the mat, the right toes coming at an angle. We're gonna bend the left knee, making any adjustments you need here. Maybe bend and straighten the right foot. Bring that right hip back. Bring the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, bring the arm bones into the sockets. Feel the fingertips pulling away, and exhale, taking the gaze over the left fingers. And then we'll bring the hands back to heart center, turning the gaze straight forward. And exhale, we're gonna twist to the left, bringing the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and maybe turning that gaze over the left shoulder. Feeling a spiral of energy rising from the right heel all the way up to the crown of the head. And back down again. And then we'll inhale, woo, bring it back up, and we'll walk the feet back in about 3 feet apart. Yeah. We're gonna bring the hands behind the back, open up the shoulders, and exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, bring it back up to center. Okay, so let's step or hop the feet back into Tadasana, bringing the feet together. And we'll bring the hands to heart center. We'll start to bend the knees like you're sitting in an imaginary chair. You can have the feet hip width apart, remember, but you want to make sure that you're kind of keeping the legs in line. You want to be careful not to put any uncomfortable pressure on the knees. And then we'll lift the heels, exhale, dropping the hips. Inhale, pause, exhale, we'll lower the hips a little bit more. Now you can modify this if you need to, especially if you're having trouble with the knees or anything. But if you can, maybe see if you can bring it all the way down to a low squat. And you can keep it here, or maybe try walking the knees out and bringing the soles of the feet together. Little balance challenge there. Go. I'm finding a spot on the floor to look at to help me get my balance. All right, so let's come back onto into a seated pose on the mat, and we'll scooch up a little bit, coming into boat pose next. So we're gonna bring the hands behind the thighs, lean back, and bring the toes to a hover. You can keep it here or bring the shins up parallel to the floor, or maybe fully extend the legs, bring the arms away. And exhale, hug the knees into the chest. All right. So next, I wanted to do bound ankle pose. So we'll bring the soles of the feet together, bringing the thumbs to the inner arches of the feet. Inhale, lengthening the spine. On the exhale, if it feels good, you can lean forward, folding forward. If not, you can work on pressing the elbows into the knees to deepen that hip stretch. And then we'll inhale. And we'll bring it into Dandasana, seated staff pose. So we'll press the heels out, draw the toes in towards your kneecaps, pointing up to the ceiling. Imagine an invisible thread pulling the crown of the head up out of the hips. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. We'll place the hands on the mat, nice and tall in Dandasana. And then we'll bring the arms by the ears and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bringing it back to center. Exhale, let's take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, walk the hands forward for head to knee pose. If you can bring your head to your knee, by all means do. I'm feeling like I'm not gonna get there today, but just go with your body, take it one breath at a time. On the inhale, sending healing energy into any tight spots. And on the exhale, releasing tension. We'll inhale, coming back up. And let's do the other side. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, walk the hands forward. Inhale, coming back up. Bring it back to Dandasana. Now we're going to come back into bringing the right foot into the left thigh. But this time we're going to take the right hand and bring it behind the head. And we're going to rotate the chest towards that bent knee. And on the exhale, we'll take the left hand towards the left toes and rotate the right elbow up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, opening up the chest, and on the exhale, bringing the left side of the rib cage a little bit closer to the thigh. You can also reach this top arm over the head, reaching the right fingers towards the toe if that feels good. And then we'll inhale, coming back up. We'll switch the legs, so we'll bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. We'll bring the left hand behind the head, rotate the rib cage so it's pointing towards that bent knee. We'll bring the right hand towards the right toes, ankle or shin. Inhaling, opening up the chest. Exhaling, bringing the right side of the rib cage closer to the right thigh. Inhale, let's come back up to center. We'll bring it back into Dandasana. And then we'll bend the right knee, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the thigh. And then we'll cross the right foot over the left thigh. We'll bring the right hand up and over behind the body, fingertips pointing away from you, and bringing the hand as close to the midline as you can comfortably. And you can either hook the left elbow around the right knee or bring the back of the elbow into the knee. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhale, twisting. And inhale, bring it back to center. And let's switch and do the same thing on the other side. So we'll start in Dandasana, bend the left knee, bring the sole of the foot to the mat, cross it over the right thigh. Bring the left hand up and over behind you, fingertips pointing away from you, and hook the right elbow around the knee or press the back of the elbow into the knee. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, twisting. And inhale, bring it back to center. If you want to add some extra twists here, you can. Like you could do Bharavaja's twist, which looks like this. You've got the right heel coming towards the right hip, and then the left foot resting on top of the right thigh by the knee. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, you can twist. You can actually twist to either side here, but I like to twist bringing the right hand to the left knee. Inhale, lengthening, exhale, twisting a little bit more. And then of course doing the same thing on the other side. And inhaling, we'll come back to center. We'll speed up a little bit, and then we're going to lower inch by inch down to the mat, coming into Savasana, but we're gonna do Apanasana and then a little supine twist before we wrap it up. So we'll inhale, lift the right knee, exhale, hug the right knee into the chest, letting all the air out. Keeping the air out, taking the chin towards the knee. Inhale, bringing the back of the head to the knee. Exhale, back of the head to the mat. Exhale, releasing the leg. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, hug the left knee into the chest. Letting all the air out. Then keeping the air out, taking the chin towards the knee. Inhale, bringing the back of the head to the mat. Exhale, releasing the leg. We'll bring the soles of both feet to the mat. You can bring the arms out to a T or do cactus arms. And then if you can, bring the right thigh over the left. You can also just bring the right ankle to the top of the left knee, the thigh just above the knee. But if you can, cross the right thigh over the left, maybe even hook the toes of the right foot around the left calf. And then we'll take the knees towards the left, keeping both shoulder blades even on the mat, and you can turn the gaze towards the right. You just want to find a nice deep twist for your body without straining or pinching anything. So I like to do this because I feel like I get a better twist this way, but if this doesn't feel good to you, do whatever variation gives you a nice twist. And we'll inhale, bringing it back to center, unwind the legs. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Or you may feel different on the other side. You can make any modifications for if you feel different or tighter on one side versus the other. And then we'll take the knees towards the right, taking the gaze towards the left. Inhale, bring it back to center. We'll stretch the heels out, roll the shoulders away. You can take a few minutes in Shavasana if you'd like. And then whenever you're ready, you can roll onto the right side of the body. Press the hands into the floor to slowly, carefully bring yourself up to a seated position. Inhale, we'll bring the arms up overhead, and exhale, we'll take the hands to heart center. There's no one path to happiness. The path itself is happiness. I thank you for joining me today for this Virgo season yoga practice, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Namaste.